for almost 3 years. So there's a lot. There's a lot. I'm very tempted to get those. However, dealing with fear of this and fear of that, I'm hesitating. Why would you hesitate to get some natural plant-based things that help with stress? There's no side effects. You don't have to be scared of that. Your fear is keeping you on high alert, and that's causing more chemicals. Your cortisol to raise, adrenaline, tachykinin, and these things make you on high alert, and it also causes anxiety and depression. Okay? So please, guys, do something about this stuff. So what would my mental health have been like? Well, first of all, if you didn't experience narcissist abuse in your adulthood, but you did in your childhood, and you're just saying, if I just didn't have this narcissistic abusive relationship last year, what would I be like? Well, you'd be waiting to do it. So it's good you've done it. And we can get this behind us when we heal and understand it. Okay? Because if we have narcissistic abusive relationships in our adulthood, it's because there's a problem from our childhood. Okay? So if it didn't happen yesterday, it's going to happen tomorrow. Well, that makes sense. These are showing us that we have problems to fix. It's the people that come into our lives that can't love us to teach us how to love ourselves. Okay? So no narcissistic abuse at all your whole life? Well, yes, you would be having happy, healthy relationships with other happy, healthy people and getting everything you need emotionally, which is the most important thing in our lives. Feel really good. Yeah. Thank you. Keep asking questions. Thanks. BB from the USA. Hello, BB. Can limerence happen platonically, or is it only with romantic undertones? Yeah, well, it means in romantic undertones. And platonic means no sex. Okay, so both. You can have limerick relationships that are long distance and you don't even see them, never met them. I've had clients that have been severely traumatized and abused by people they've never met in person yet, just on the phone and video. Okay, we get attached and we can be abused and we can be traumatized and we can idolize relationships and love, right? We can still do that. And the person as an object, we can still do this, okay, in romantic relationships where we aren't having sex. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Please tell me if it does not, and ask again. Everybody out there, if I miss your question, please ask me again. I never on purpose ignore anyone's questions, but I do get people who ask me questions from older videos I don't see. So always on the most recent one that just came out last Monday, okay? And sometimes I misunderstand people's questions, so I answer it wrong or something. So if I did, ask me again. If you don't understand my question, keep asking me. And repetitive questions are okay. There's no dumb, stupid, wrong question. Only dumb, stupid, wrong answers. Okay, that's my side. So please keep asking, okay? Thank you very much. Carol, don't know where you're from, Carol. Please tell us your locations, everybody. Let us know where you're at. Thank you. Can a toxic, narc, psychopath, Machiavellian play the victim? Yes. So narcissists, there's different kinds of narcissists, and it's common for a lot of narcissists to be the covert, what they call, and without the title. It just means playing the victim and passive-aggressive behaviors, stuff like this. So Machiavellian is very plotting and planning, big time. And the psychopath is like that, very plotting and planning. And they can also be very aware that they're doing it, very aware. They can be plotting and planning and also play the victim, where maybe not everybody playing the victim is aware of it. I mean, people with personality disorders really lack awareness, okay? So they're really, and they do not insight at all on themselves. So it's very, very common that they don't realize what they're doing, okay? And I get mad, and people get so mad at me sometimes. They're like, oh, they know exactly what they're doing and all that. No, they don't. No, they don't. Personality disorders are the people with toxic behaviors that aren't aware of it, that it's a problem. A lot of them think, yeah, I do it, and it's not a problem for me. I love it, you know? So they aren't very aware. Psychopaths like this can be aware. They can play the victim and be very aware they're doing it on purpose and not even feel that way. Okay? Because we're talking about psychopaths here. Thank you, Carol. Jenny, looking for the location. Don't see it. Please tell us your locations, everybody. Let us know where you're from, okay? Can you guys try to do that? Thank you. If you watch my videos, you see me say that every single question. So please try to do that. Thanks. Looks like the narc is hoovering today because it's my birthday. I asked why he hasn't called me all week if he cares, but instead he called me tonight around 9 p.m. We spoke for an hour and suddenly the phone went dead. I tried calling him back, but his phone has been busy for the past 2 hours. I wonder who he's talking to. I'm tired of this. How do we end it? Never talk to him again. That's how. How do you do that? Well, if you can't, Jenny, if you're too dependent on this relationship and have no support and stuff to do this, ask for help. And I don't mean just ask me in a question. Hire help to do this, to help you do this. Okay? Please, please. You're worthy of it. Like I was just saying earlier, that a lot of us don't do this. Our self-worth is so low, we don't get help. We are so used to being alone growing up and doing everything for ourselves, and we think we can do this all alone by ourselves, and you can't. You can't. You just can't. Okay? This is a relationship problem with people, and we need to keep having relationships with people. Okay? If that's not important to us, then sure, be all alone and don't even have to fix nothing or do nothing. You can't do that. People can't do that. Your mental health will slowly decline, just like everyone's health is declining in this pandemic. Okay? Thank you, Jenny. I can't just tell you like there's some little trick. Okay? It means that you don't know how, or it's too difficult, too dependent. Okay? So we hire someone to help us do this. Please, please. Thank you, Jenny. So, Tanny, I would love to know your locations, everybody. Please tell us where you're from. Give us your location if you ask a question. Please, thank you. Tanny, so people getting hurt by narcissists these days still view them as humans? Human beings are human beings, okay? They are demons living inside of a human that was taken over when they refused to heal from trauma. They aren't alive anymore. Thank you for your opinion, Tanny. All I'm going to say, Tanny, is what I wrote here to you. There is a better way to heal from this. You'll never heal as long as you have that opinion, okay, on certain human beings. That they're demons living in a human and they aren't alive anymore. There's other ways to explain what you think or how you feel too. There's better ways. So this is something I see common. Okay, common. And we just don't do this. It won't ever serve you, ever, to believe this. Because it's your way of trying to stay safe, right? And we're focusing on them. And the only way you're ever going to get better is to focus on you, okay? And when you do understand this, you may change your mind. Most people do. Most people do. We use human things like compassion and empathy and understanding. That's how you're going to heal from this, okay? And when we finally do heal, we don't think things like this and we don't want revenge on them anymore and we don't keep checking and stuff like this. We have come to terms and have accepted it and healed from it. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you have to do anything. I'm just saying those are signs of healing. This is a sign of not healing. This is a sign that we're not introspecting. Okay, and it's what we need to do. And it's difficult to do that because it's painful and it causes depression, but it's the only way to heal us. Okay, I'm sorry you have that opinion. It's what I said earlier, and it's our brains taking over trying to keep us safe. Okay. Thank you. Andy from Vancouver Island. Hello, Andy. Every time I see Vancouver Island, I just think, brr, cold. It's wet all the time and cold. Andy says, no. I haven't had sex with him since October. I'm 37 weeks pregnant with his son currently, LOL, which is why I feel guilted into still talking to him. He says it's unfair of me to refuse this help. I said he's keeping you in there by saying it's unfair to refuse the help he has for you. Okay. I agree with you. He formed a bond with a younger woman, blah, 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 blah. This is a continuance of last week. He says he was getting his sexual needs from another girl and emotional needs from you. He wasn't financially dependent on you, and you were confused why he wanted to stick around. It's emotional dependency. And we did have fun together. I think he tried his best to be a boyfriend, but he said he has no idea how to be that person to someone. He said he always messes things up, so it can't be done for him. Said he has never felt this way for anyone before, and he does care about me. He continues to apologize for who he is and what he has done. It's very frustrating. I don't want us to hate each other. I like to be healthy. Co-parents. How do I co-parent with a narc? Is that why he barely had sex? Because I wanted emotional and commitment, and that was something he didn't want. We could kiss and cuddle. Yeah. So you want this and he wants this. That's simple. Okay. The two of you aren't going to mesh. The two of you aren't going to do well together. And he has admitted that he doesn't want to be there for you emotionally and give you what you need. He's incapable. I believe that. He's been cheating on you and lying to you and abusing you, is what you said before. You kind of said it now. So, and he doesn't care what you want. It's unfair to refuse his help. I don't know what you mean. Help with the child. If he has narcissistic personality disorder and he's also exploitative and abusive, which kind of goes hand in hand, it does no good to have him in your life or your child's life. That's just my opinion. Okay, the child isn't born yet, hasn't met him yet, and it'd probably be better to never meet him. Okay? He doesn't give you what you need and want. He will not give a child what he needs and wants. He doesn't know how to give himself what he needs and wants, and that's why he's dependent on other people and exploits them. He doesn't value human connection. It's so important, everybody, to realize that even though we're all equal, we are all different. And that's a huge lesson that I learned, sadly, in my 40s. But it really helped me. It really helps for me to stop trying to see what I want in someone. Because we will find whatever we're looking for. You can convince yourself of anything, okay? You can convince yourself anything of me or of somebody else if you want that. It is vitally important, not just for you, but especially your child, to get help. Get help, get help, get help, get help. Okay? Narcissists can't co-parent. That's suggesting they're mature and responsible and accountable. They are not. They are emotional children. You're parallel parenting. Lots of things we need to learn. Lots of things we need to heal from and get help from. And this guy abuses you. So you're never going to heal as long as you have him in your life. Just a little tidbits to help you is stop communicating with him. Okay, try to keep him out of your life and your child's life. If he decides to take you to court and get rights to this child, then there's not much you can do about that. But you do not have to talk to him. You can communicate via email just about the child, nothing personally, and it's going to be extremely difficult to do that without healing from the abuse, without help. Lots to learn here, Andy. Do it for yourself and your child, please. Please, please, please. I'm sorry you have a child. You're going to have a child with this person, and I'm happy that you're going to have a child. Sounds kind of contradicting, doesn't it? But congratulations. Be a proud mother. But the best mother in the world is the healthiest person that she can be. Okay? This isn't healthy. All right? Toxic. And it's not about meeting the right person or just getting rid of this one. We need to learn how to have a good, healthy, growing, functional, loving relationship, because it's the most important things in our lives, and it's going to be the most important thing in your child's life. Okay? And if you don't know how to do it, you can't teach them how. Most of us, all of us, have had neglectful parents. And what we usually raise our child the way that we were raised. Okay? So much to learn from this. All right? That's it. Keep asking me questions, okay? I'm really sorry you're in this position, but you do have a beautiful child coming, okay? This can be a great reason. If you didn't believe you're worthy enough to get help, now maybe you will believe that it's worth getting help for your child, okay? You'll have to excuse me, this is a very long story that I'm only giving you snippets of for now, though. If you can just explain to me what his intentions are. Should I believe what he says? Or is it all BS to keep me sticking around? Well, I don't know him, right? I don't know what his intentions are. And not every single narcissist fits in the perfect exact mold and thinks the same way and behaves the same way, right? So, listen to him when he says he messes everything up and can't have a relationship with anyone. Okay? That's pretty important. And he's toxic, right? Is he abusive, exploitative? Form your own opinion and stop ignoring that stuff. Okay? His intentions. Well, I think he's made it kind of clear. He wants to have a child in his life. And there's a bunch of psychology behind that. You guys are like, why do narcissists want children? Yeah, because they lost their childhood and all they care about is status, identity, identifiers. I'm going to be a dad, a parent, and I have to be the best one, and I can't fail at that because that's all that matters and what people think. Doesn't mean he'll be a good one, okay? Please get help. Please, 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 please. Thank you. Thank you. Keep asking questions. All right, next question is from James. And I don't know where you are from. Please tell us your locations, everybody. Can you just tell us where you are? Thank you. James says, you all have it wrong. Exclamation point. Who's you all? Everyone in the world? Me and I don't know. It says, find your abusers and those who had a hand in helping them. And make sure they never do this to you or anyone ever again. I will never quit. And I just don't understand that. And I replied, okay, you replied. How about having a video on how to handle the abusers instead of going to see a therapist and stay on the meds? How the hell do these people get away with it? So an abuser and a victim, right? That's how they get away with it. To us. You cannot control, James, what they do to other people. Okay? You can't. And your life is worth so much more to help yourself and fix that. That's the only part you can control. Okay? This is a normal reaction. Probably had a dependent relationship and we're focused on the other person, and it's hard to accept the loss and all the trauma and the abuse. I'd like to know what you mean by you have it all wrong. You all have it wrong. So keep asking me questions if you could, James. And going to see a therapist and stay on the meds isn't the only way to heal from that. I never suggest meds. I'm not against them. If people need them, you need them, right? James, if you need medicine, I'm not saying you do, but if you do, take your medicine, right? Same with everybody. I'm not suggesting people go take drugs to heal from this. If you have to, do it, okay? But it's not the only way. And the only professional help out there isn't just from a therapist. There's counselors and stuff that don't prescribe drugs, and most therapists don't. You have to go to a psychiatrist to get the drugs. But we need talk therapy, James. Talk therapy, okay? There's no professionals out there that's going to help you find your abusers and keep them from abusing other people. You aren't going to be able to do that. You're not going to change what has happened to you in the past. You can't change that. You can change how you feel about it. And you can also help yourself never do this again. But focusing on our abuser and trying to find them, I don't know what that means, find your abuser. Where are they? I don't understand that. But, and all those who had a helping hand, and make sure they never do this to you. Well, the best way to make sure they never do it to you again is leave them alone, right? Finding them again isn't ensuring that they won't do it to you again. And you'll never be able to control them doing it to anybody else, okay? The more you understand about this, the more you'll realize, James, that this had to happen. This had to happen, okay? We're having dramatic, traumatic, abusive relationships with people. Why, James? Why? It's way more than I just got tricked and fooled. Way, way more, okay? By getting some professional that's experienced in this to help you is the best way. I'm a life coach. I'm not a therapist. And I don't really like drugs or tell people to take drugs. And I offer a lot of natural things that can help you right away, and all of you. Yeah, I see this as a common theme, the kind of not focusing on ourselves and focusing on our abuser, which is common anyways, but I see that today. It's very common. Maybe I'll make a separate video about this. Thank you, James. I don't know if I helped you. Please keep asking me questions. Let me know, okay? Thank you. And that is it. That's it, guys. Thank you very much. That's all the questions for this week's Q&A. Please, all of you, get help if you need it. You're worthy of it. It's not a bad thing. I don't know if people are worried about the stigma, but I know that we a lot of times believe we aren't worth it, okay? I know there's a lot of people, I know I charge money, and I know a lot of people can't afford it, but I know that there's a lot of people that can afford it that ask me questions all the time that would like my help, but they don't feel worthy of it. Is that one of you guys out there? Okay? You don't have to go through me, you can go to somebody else. But get help. Get help. There's no reason to keep suffering. Even if you can, help yourself. You can't do it as well or as fast and efficiently as getting professional help. Okay? That's for sure. That's for sure. All right? And there's such a thing as experiencing and having more damage from not getting the help we need. Especially like doing it again. Right? Thanks, guys. Love yourself first. DavidDemars.com if you're interested in coaching. And I will see you next year. Yay. Thanks, guys.